I am God. I am El Niño. El Niño means ill child. It's also a code word for 9/11. The word ill is spelled I-L-L. I is the number 9. It's the ninth letter of the alphabet. L looks like a 1, and an L looks like a 1, so you get 911. So 911 child. That's me. You see, in 2001, I went to boarding school, a boarding school called Charterhouse, which is in Guildford, in a town called Godalming. And when I was there, I lived in a house called Pagites. And I made friends with a guy called James Richards. He was a fan of Slipknot. When I first met him, Slipknot was his favorite band then. It later became Metallica. But he introduced me to quite a lot of bands. And one of them was El Niño. And I liked El Niño. And I was listening to that music. And I've seen them play as well. I saw them in Brighton once at Concord 2, which is a venue in Brighton, Concord 2. I used to go clubbing there as well. Dance music, drum and bass, breakbeat. You might notice at the end of a Bible, you might have a Bible, and at the end of it, you'll see something called a Concord dance. Yeah, concordance, a Concord dance. Well, that's the thing. I used to go to a place called Concord 2, and I used to dance there. Strange that, huh? It used to be a bomb shelter. Anyways, it's like an old bomb shelter on the seafront that got turned into a music venue. But anyways, so El Nino, well, it means ill child, and so when I was a little boy, I'm God, and so I was born. I came out of a woman's body called Fiona, and she's a very evil demon. My dad, a demon who ran away. And no one knew that I was God. I didn't even know that I was God. So I only found that out later in life because I realized all the terrible things that were happening in my life. I realized what it all meant, and I got surrounded by ghosts. I am surrounded by ghosts. I've been surrounded by ghosts that have been touching me since 2019, early 2019, and I've seen many things. I know who I am. I've made a lot of videos, so you can look at all of them. Yeah. You know how the Pope died on Monday? Yeah, it's because of me. So when I was a little boy, I had a lesbian mother. She used to live with her girlfriend, and it was very hard for me because all the kids at school would be running around saying, "Gay Lord, gay Lord, gay Lord, gay Lord," and the fact was, my mom she wanted me to be gay, and I didn't want to be gay. I'm not gay, but the thing is, she wanted me to be gay. So it was very difficult for me to grow up. It was very difficult. Yeah. Mm. Isn't it interesting? Because you know, a lot of gay people, they will complain about, the fact that they grew up with parents who didn't want them to be gay, and they felt tormented and tortured by it, basically, like it was really hard for them, and they felt like an outcast. Well, for me, it was completely the opposite. It was the other way around. I'm straight, and my mom wanted me to be gay. She wanted me to be gay. Anyways, I was a very disturbed child. Let's put it that way. Yeah. I actually started smoking a lot. I started smoking when I was 13 years old. It was 2001 when I started. Within a year, I was smoking more than 10 a day. So, and then by the time I was 16, I was smoking 40 a day. So, yeah, I mean, that's, and I went totally, and I got involved in lots, I became an alcoholic and druggie, because I lived with a mom who was a druggie. Yeah, she had all the drugs. I mean, they were already in the house. Do you know what I mean? I didn't even have to go and get it. Do you know what I mean? I just walk into my mum's bedroom, open her bedside drawer, and there's, a selection of things. And I'd be like, what do I want then? I'd find things like ecstasy, speed, weed, ketamine, coke, MDMA, loads of alcohol. Yeah. I've got all that. So I never did heroin though. I never did that. But yeah. Anyways, I was a kid with a lot of problems, right? So, and when I went to boarding school called Charter House, you notice how the words boarding and charter are very associated with flying, with airplanes. Yeah. So the very first week I was at Charter House, those planes crashed into the World Trade Center towers. It's because of me. See, when I was a kid, I didn't know that. I had no idea. I was a big fan of Limp Bizkit. Limp Bizkit, they were the last people to record a music video on the World Trade Center. And they did that in September the year 2000, so the year before. And the day before September 11th, that was September 10th, Limp Bizkit received a letter from the World Trade Center, the people who run the building, who own the building, and they were the buildings. They owned the buildings, and so they sent Limp Bizkit or Fred Durst a letter saying, "Congratulations on your MTV Video Music Awards award," because they won award for best music video for rock and roll or something, right? And obviously you understand that there's an association. Well, heavy metal, so new metal, heavy metal. What does heavy? Look at. Watch a video of the World Trade Center collapsing. Yeah, it collapsed. That's a lot of heavy metal fucking just crashing to the ground, right? You do realize that, don't you? It's just a shit ton of heavy metal coming down. And it was Aaliyah Dana Houghton who died in a plane crash only weeks before 9/11, right? She died on the 25th of August in a plane that was too heavy. It got 60 foot in, about 60 foot into the air, and then it came down on, it crashed in the ground beyond, it was just past the end of the runway of, and that was in the Bahamas. Okay? And that's how she died. I've already explained who she was. She was the Virgin Mary. Thousands of years ago, 2,000 years ago, yeah? So, I'm God, right? And I've been betrayed by Mary. I've been betrayed by many people. And I was surrounded by demons. I was a very disturbed child. And so I was an ill child. And that became 9/11 child, right? That all happened because of me. You see, when the world tries to hurt me, when the world is constantly, when the world won't stop attacking me, well, guess what happens? Terrible things happen. That's what happens. Yeah. I remember when I went to boarding school, I brought my desktop computer there, and it was a Pentium 2 233 megahertz computer. Yeah, wasn't the Pentium 2? So it's it's like, well, it's like II, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's written II. So it kind of looks like two towers, doesn't it? I mean, let me have a quick look at that. Um, Pentium 2, yeah, it's written like two eyes, isn't it? So it looks like twin. It looks like twin towers, doesn't it? It's written in Roman numerals, isn't it? So it's Pentium II. Anyways, and obviously, it was a 233 megahertz processor that it had. Well, you know how Skull and Bones is. People say that they think that it was Skull and Bones that was involved with the 9/11 thing. George Bush. They think he's part of the Skull and Bones secret society. Well, that's 322. The number that's associated with that is 322, which is very similar to 233, right? It's the same numbers, and it's three numbers, right? Magic numbers, okay? But and this is the other thing, right? Because there's that song by Il Nino. It's probably was my favorite song actually. Um, I am loco. I am loco, which means I am crazy. Loco means crazy in Spanish. And I just thought to myself, well, isn't that an interesting word? Because, what's Israel? What's Israel? Well, you know what railway is, right? You know what a train is, right? And do you know what a locomotive is? A locomotive? Yeah, loco? Yeah, I am loco. Yeah, Israel. Yeah, locomotive. Yeah, crazy. I'm good. And I'm very crazy. Would you be surprised that God would be crazy at a world that's so evil? Have you looked at the world? Yeah, so that piece of shit, Pope Francis, he dropped dead on Monday, and people won't shut up about him. Everyone just wants to talk about him. He's like, oh, they made the entire day about him, basically. And has anyone questioned? I haven't found a single video I haven't heard anyone say, was God trying to send a message to everybody? Was he trying to send a message to everybody? Or, no one seems to have gotten the message. No one's gotten the message, have they? No one's realized that God wants everybody's attention. I want everyone's attention. And people won't give it to me. People refuse to give me their attention. So that's why shit like this will keep happening. This is why you'll see planes crashing. This is why you'll see people drop dead in bizarre. This is the thing. I have to keep doing things to get your attention. And the death of the Pope on what you call Easter Monday didn't get your attention. So what's going to have to come next? What next then? Because I'm just looking at a world that doesn't care. Because if you didn't understand that there was supposed to be a message there, if you didn't realize God's trying to talk to you, like, hey, you fucking idiots, listen to me. I'm trying to tell you something. If you can't get that through your thick skull, then there's no hope for you. You don't hear my voice. You are deaf. Right? You're deaf, you're blind. Is it any wonder I smoke? mean, that's the other thing as well about the Il Nino album cover. So the album cover is a skeleton of what's probably a child. You know, it's a child's body and it's their skeleton. That's the album cover for Il Nino's first album. At least I think it's their first album. Yeah. Well, this is the thing. I'm a Scorpio. Yeah. That's my zodiac sign. Yeah. I mean, I was born into this world, and everyone told me, "Hey, you're a Scorpio, Grant." I was like, "Am I? Okay then." And that's the thing. Scorpio is associated with death, as in the Grim Reaper. Yeah, that's me. Basically, that's the label that's been put on me anyway. However you want to look at it. I'm a destroyer. I'm here to destroy this world because the world doesn't hear me. The world doesn't see me. The world doesn't want to know me. The world doesn't care about me. So literally, the only thing I'm not here to perform any. I'm not here to. My main purpose of being here is to destroy and get rid of people. Obviously, after so much death has occurred, so many disasters have happened. Eventually, people, well, you know, let's say if 9/10 of the world's population dropped dead, and there was only 1/10 of the world's population left. Do you think people would change their mind? Do you think people would say maybe we should talk to God? Maybe God's really angry at us. Maybe we were supposed to listen to him. We didn't listen to him. When do we reach this point? When do we reach this point, people? When? When's it gonna be? Huh? Oh, we'll find out, won't we? You see, the thing about 9/11 is that was a sex magic ritual. Okay, it all has to do with sodomy. And New York, the Big Apple. Well, the Big Apple is another way of talking about somebody's ass, right? Apple shaped apple bottom. In fact, when I was younger, I used to have a film called Apple Bottom, and it wasn't really a film, it was a porn film, right? It's called Apple Bottom. Yeah, that's what it was called. Yeah. Um, yeah. Well, that's the thing. I'm Apple Bottom, actually. Come to think of it. Tell you what, I've got a big ass. Sitting in the seat all the time. Yeah, that's right. As much as I hate to admit it. But there we go. What else can I talk about? Yeah. Well. The thing is that the world treats me very badly, and all the terrible things that are happening, well, it's death, it's destruction, it's the economy getting worse, plane crashes happening all the time, helicopters crashing, people randomly dying, people dying. I wouldn't call it random, but and then there's all sorts of things that are happening. All the crazy news stories. It's a defense mechanism. Okay, So if the world won't leave me alone, then the destruction won't go away. I mean, I want people to love me, right? I want people to acknowledge me. I want people to listen to me. If people don't do that, the world will be destroyed. People will be destroyed. The only way to stop it is to listen to me. Okay? It's the only way you can stop this. Okay? And I'm not just talking about one person or a couple of people. I need thousands of people to be listening to me. Millions of people. That has to happen. There's no way this world is going to survive unless I get what I want. Unless I get what I ask for. So, what kind of future do you want? That's the question. It doesn't really, for me, I don't have to go to work. I can do whatever I want, pretty much. I've got money. I've got, I can, I don't need, I can go on holiday whenever I want. I could go on holiday tomorrow if I wanted to. I could go for I could go for a 6-month holiday if I wanted to. I could go as long as the visa. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could literally just do whatever I want. That's the point I'm trying to make here. I don't have to sit here. I don't have to make videos unless I do it because I feel it's necessary. The thing is that people do a lot of witchcraft, and I have to break their curses. That's what I do. Oh yeah. So what's El Nino? What's that again? El Nino. That's like a current thing, isn't it? It's a weather system. El Nino. Um, El Nino is a climate pattern characterized by the unusual warming of surface waters in the eastern tropical Pacific Ocean, which can disrupt global weather patterns. It is part of a larger phenomenon known as the El Nino Southern Oscillation, also known as ENSO. ENSO. ENSO, which includes its opposite phase, La Nina, and neutral conditions. So obviously, well, you may not be aware of this, but L means God. Okay? That's what it means. L. So let me go through the lyrics for the song I Am Loco. So let me go through these lyrics, okay? So it says, life is weighing down on me, killing me inside. Something I could never be will guide me to the new light. Frustrated, sedated, I pray to myself. Well, the thing is, I'm God. I was Jesus Christ. I'm God. Yeah, I pray to myself. God, please don't take away from me the only fucking thing that I learned to believe. I am becoming the monster you promised to keep him away. Now I feel like he's living in me. Anyway, I could never ever be what you think is right for me, are things that I will not believe. I want to start a new life, get myself a sharp knife, look into my own life, kill things I don't like in me. But sometimes I feel okay and think I'm unique. You always try to critique. I turn my back on it anyway. Sucker, punk ass motherfucker, I am loco. Te falta un poco to get your ass in a chokehold. Just kill me, I can't breathe. I am guiding myself right to the end. Though it kills me, come to terms with the sickness that makes me crash and burn. So this is the thing, right? Crash and burn. The world is trying to put me in a crash and kill me. And guess what happens? Yeah, you can't do that to me. That doesn't work. You will crash and burn. That's the thing. The world. Yeah. So, carrying on with these lyrics, yeah? I'm crying. I feel like I am dying, but I'm trying. I beg to myself, put my pride up on the shelf. Life is not forever, but if life will stay together, I would have a friend in my depression, have an end. But I've been thinking, and thinking always gets me into trouble. But since I have a double personality, it wasn't me, you see. Now I'm a refugee. What's a refugee? Yeah, well, see, migrants. Yeah, people talk about migrants and they call them refugees. Yeah, I suppose a refugee is a type of migrant. Yeah, and obviously, well, that's the thing. M-I, how do you say that? Is that my or is it me? And what's Grant? Who's Grant? I'm Grant. That's my name. Grant is my fucking name. Yeah, Grant Salvin. That's my name on my birth certificate. Okay, so let me carry on here. Where were we? So it wasn't me, you see. Now I'm a refugee, and everything inside of me is just a part of my disease. Just kill me, I can't breathe. I'm guiding myself right to the end. Though it kills me, come to terms with the sickness that makes me crash and burn. Yeah, and yeah, that was basically the end of it. Okay. So, time for a cigarette? See, demons would like to kill me with magic, with their words. I'm God. That doesn't work. The world will die before... The world will be destroyed. The world is being punished for its hatred of me. That's the thing, you know, people like to say that I'm crazy. I say I'm God, and people say that I am crazy. I am loco. Yeah, but crazy can mean that, you know, if someone's crazy, does it mean that they don't know what they're talking about? They're deluded? Or does it mean they're extremely angry? Or, extremely cross? Yeah. What does cross mean then, huh? Have you figured that one out yet? Yeah, it means all kinds of things, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. The world likes to make everything confusing, twist everything. It serves their lies. It serves their, the reason they have all these different meanings and they're able to twist words. It's babble, and it's all about serving their purpose. It's so they can make things look the other way round, so that they can deny me and try to use witchcraft against me. But that doesn't lead anywhere good for you, for them. For me, well, my life, I would prefer if I lived in a mansion with a jacuzzi and people acknowledge that I'm God. Yeah, of course I would, because that's who I am. Um, there's really nothing else to say, is there really? I need to go viral. That's the thing. I do. That's for that's for your sake, for the people who listen to me, for their sake, and for my sake. But ultimately, if that doesn't happen, I've already told you what's going to happen, haven't I? So, um, and what will happen? Well, if people, I will continue posting videos, I will continue recording videos saying, talking about many different things, but, and if I still never go viral, well, you know, all I've done, all I can do is try, get people to change, get people to listen to me. And if that doesn't happen, well, I'm pretty sure it will happen at some point. But if it doesn't happen, this is the thing. I mean, if I died tomorrow, or I died next week, or next month, or whatever, really, it doesn't really make a lot of difference to me. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really make a lot of difference to me. To you and the rest of the world, though, I mean, that is, well, it's a totally different story, isn't it? So, I mean, think about it. I was Jesus Christ. Yeah. What did I do that for? Why was I crucified? What did I do all that for? Yeah. The thing is that the world is so evil and against me that I have to end um, the world. I have to destroy it. because the world, all it wants to do is kill me. It wants to get rid of me. It wants to curse me. It wants to get me to self-destruct. And the world will pay. It's the world that's going to suffer, not me. I can deal with what's coming, whatever happens. What I'm telling you is that well, I'm guessing you probably won't. You won't like it. You won't like what's coming. You won't like it. I'm offering a way out. That's the thing. I'm here. I'm telling you the truth, and I'm offering you a way to avoid what's coming. Yeah? I'm the only thing that can save you from what's coming. Okay? If you don't think that's important, and you don't think it's important that you should be telling everybody, well, you obviously don't care. And you aren't listening to me. You aren't watching me. You aren't hearing my words. You aren't understanding what I'm saying. And if that's you, well, you're a demon that likes to spy. That's all you are. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I'm still young faced, aren't I? You know, some people would say I still look like I'm 12 years old. What did I say? What did I say? El Niño. Yeah, ill child. Yeah, how old was I when 9/11 happened? I guess it would have been 13. Yeah, 13. I would have turned. I would have turned 14 that year, I think. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Strange, huh?